Right, we're going to move on to Leslie, who I've just seen. Hello, Leslie. She's a pro tarot reader and T card, charm reader, astrologer, certified crystal energy healer, yoga teacher, and aromatherapist. Is there anything you don't do?
Let's just say it's over 40 years of exploring metaphysics, and I've narrowed it down to a few. I'm the ultimate eclectic.
Wow, you have a wealth of experience. I can't wait to hear more. So you're going to be talking to us right now about chakra and our chakra cleansing.
Yes.
So over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look, it is so wonderful to be here again at the Halloween Festival. I was here last year and talked about tea cards and tea charms, but this time I'm going to look at the chakras. What are they? Oh, let's find out. But I'm also going to incorporate how we can balance these energy centers that are in the body using crystals and essential oils. Now, with COVID, it's very hard to be hands-on with clients when you're doing energy work because of the social distancing. So I've come up with a way of using the tarot to determine the energies of our chakras. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can actually see a little diagram of what the chakras look like in terms of their symbology and also where they are placed. So there are a few different chakra systems that exist. The one that I use is more based on Western astrology, mysticism, but it did originate in India and from the yoga practice. So the chakras I'm going to be sharing with you today are the 7 major ones, and they lie along the spine. They lie along the spine in the front of the body and the back of the body. So we're just going to talk a little bit about them, and then I'm going to do a little sample tarot reading to check the energy of the chakras. So the first one, this is known as the root or the base chakra. It's located at the base of the spine. This is associated with our survival, being physically on the planet. So it's our fight, flight response. It's about our need for shelter, food. It's about the basic things of being on the planet, being in our body. The associated color is a bright red. And if you think of blood, most people go, ooh, blood. But if you think of what blood is, it gives us life. It transports oxygen through the body that we breathe in. It transports nutrients. So the color red associated with this base chakra is really, really appropriate. When we look at the energy of chakras, they are energy centers in the body, and they vibrate at different frequencies, a bit like a rainbow, where we have red as the lowest frequency going up to violet as the highest frequency, at least that we can see in the visible spectrum. So the rate of frequency for the base chakra is the slowest of the 7 chakras. Let's move on to the sacral chakra. It's located in the lower belly, below the navel, and in the lower back. Now, this chakra is about birthing. And yes, ladies, it's about birthing children. But it's not just about reproduction and sexuality. It's also about our creativity. It's about our ability to birth new things into the world, new projects, birth new ideas. It's also the water element here. It's fluid. It's our ability to flow and be adaptable. And the associated color with this is a bright orange. Think of a beautiful, bright piece of orange fruit, that kind of orange color. Let's move on to the solar plexus. Now, the solar plexus is located in the upper abdomen, so it's above the navel and just under the lower ribs. It's also the middle of the back behind you. Solar plexus. I think of the solar plexus as our central sun, our personal seat of power. It is associated with our identity, who we are on this planet, in this incarnation, if you believe in reincarnation, who we are at this point in time. It's our personality. It is at the power that we stand in. It's about our ego. Now, everyone talks about ego as being, shall we say from the song, a dirty word. Ego has its place. Ego is partly about personality. When ego becomes a problem is when the ego becomes overly egotistical, and that's when all the trouble begins, isn't it? But this central power, this central sun that we have at the solar plexus is about our confidence, our self-esteem. It is about our ability to stand in our own power, and it is also about our ability to think, our intellect. The associated colour with this, appropriately so, is a beautiful, bright sunshine yellow. One of my favourite chakras, this one. Let's move on to the heart. People say, well, you know, we know the heart's all about love. Yes, it is. And the heart chakra energy is about love in all of its forms. So it's the love of a romantic partner, the love of your children, the love of your parents, your family, your friends, your pets. But it's also in its most pure form about unconditional love. How many of us at different times have said or thought, I love you, but, and there's a condition on it. So in its purest energy, the heart chakra is unconditional love. It is about compassion for others. The associated colours here, I have two colours here because different schools of thought have two different colours. I like to use them both. The first one is a beautiful clear grass green, and the other, which we more traditionally think of with love, is pink. Moving on to the throat chakra. So the throat chakra is located on the front of the neck and the back of the neck. This chakra is about expressing our truth. It's about communication, but it's not about going outward. It is also about listening to the truth of others. How many times have you heard what someone has been saying, but you haven't really listened to what they are saying, the meaning behind it? So this chakra is about expression, outward and inward, both on a superficial level, but on a deeper spiritual level as well. The associated colour with this is anything from a pale blue through to a dark blue. Moving on to the third eye chakra. This is located at the brow. Now, depending on the school of thought of which chakra school you've come from, it can either be between the eyebrows, directly between the eyebrows, or up in the middle of the forehead. I hedge my bets and I cover the entire area. So third eye. This is about our own inner wisdom, our own intuition, our psychic abilities, about our connection to our own subtle senses. The associated colour here, and when I talk about subtle senses, I'm talking about things like clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all the clairs. Now, this is associated also with our own inner wisdom from where we are in this incarnation on the planet, as well as connecting to our higher self. The associated colours for the third eye are either a dark blue, an indigo, like a midnight sky, or amethyst, purple. And amethyst is what I usually use for the third eye. And then let's move on to the crown. The crown is located at the top of the head. It's poetically called the 1,000-petaled lotus. And this is our connection to that which is beyond us. Whether you call that connection God, whether you call goddess, whether you use a deity such as Isis or Osiris, whether you have a spirit guide, angelic connection, or whether you just call it the universal source. I call it the source of all. And that is my connection to that which is beyond me. That is my connection that allows me to connect through my psychic senses out into the world and channel in information. So those are the 7 major chakras, and the colours associated with the crown is clear white light. I also like to use a golden light, and the other colour that I associate here is royal purple, a darker, deeper purple. So you can choose. I use my intuition when I'm choosing what colours to use for the chakras. So let me move this and let's put out some tarot cards and do a little sample reading of using tarot and chakra energy together. So, and I meant to say earlier, by the way, chakra is the Sanskrit word that means wheel. So these energies are like spinning wheels or vortexes. So I'm just going to place a card for the root chakra, sacral. So I'm just using these other cards as placeholders. Solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and the crown. So what I'm going to do is interpret the tarot card in relation to the energy of the chakra, and then I'm going to share with you some crystals and some oils that you can use to rebalance that chakra. So here we go. So the first one, let's see what we've got. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. So this is saying to me, in regard to this base or root chakra that's located at the base of your spine, that the energy there is low. We can see the fellow is wearing a red cloak and he's walking away. So the energy is away. It isn't there. So I feel that the energy for this base chakra around being fully in your physical body, being grounded to the earth, is really not strong at the moment. So what would I do to rebalance it? I would utilize crystals and oils. And there are many other ways that you can balance chakras as well, but 30 minutes, we don't have a lot of time to go into all the detail. So in terms of appropriate crystals for the base chakra, I like using red jasper. This is grounding and earthing, getting us back into our body, because in our modern society, we live so much in our heads, and this brings the energy back down and rebalances it. Other crystals I might use that are grounding crystals is black tourmaline. It's also great for repelling negative energy. And the other one I like to use is hematite, a little silvery sheen on that black. So any of those crystals are appropriate. How would I use the crystal? I would lie down. I would place this crystal on the front of my body where the base of my spine would be. Now, the oil that I would use, there are a number of different oils you can use for the base chakra. There's bergamot, which supports you actually staying in your physical body and staying grounded. There's coriander seed, which is great for security and safety, because when you think about the basic things of survival, security and safety is amongst that. So that would be a great oil if you're feeling unsafe or insecure. The other oil that's great for grounding, not a lot of people like the aroma of this oil because it's quite pungent. It has that sort of smoky campfire kind of aroma, or that deep peaty soil aroma, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but vetiver is great for that. But the oil I've chosen for balancing the base chakra today, and I'm using my aromatherapy cards because otherwise all you'll be seeing is a brown bottle and that won't mean anything to you. So the oil I've chosen for the base chakra is cedar wood. Cedar wood is grounding. It grounds you into the earth and will help rebalance your chakras. Let's move on to the sacral chakra. So remember, I said this chakra was about birthing new things, about our creativity, about our flow, our emotional flow, our sexuality as well. And here I have the King of Cups reversed. So again, with this chakra, I feel the energy is draining out. The poor old king, his cup is just emptying out. I feel that with this chakra, with the king reversed, this King of Cups reversed, I feel that you're not in charge of your emotions, that the creativity is just not there. That sexuality and sensuality that is so part of being a human is low. So how would I balance that? Again, I would come back to my crystals. So there are a number of crystals that you can use for the sacral chakra. This is an Australian crystal called mookaite. It's a form of jasper. So I'm using the color orange. This is orange moving into a little bit of yellow. I actually like to use this between the chakras because of the change of color. Another one is citrine. I use the more orangey form of citrine rather than the yellow form of citrine. This is actually baked amethyst that gives you that orange color and turns it into citrine. But the one I've chosen today to balance the sacral chakra is carnelian, beautiful orange carnelian. So we're going to put that there. And if I was applying it to my body, again, I would lie down and I would place it on my lower belly. Again, a number of essential oils that can be chosen for the sacral chakra. Mandarin, a beautiful oil about inner child. Beautiful, joyful, light-hearted oil. Other oils for the sacral chakra are lang lang. So if you're feeling that your libido is a bit low, that you don't feel like your sexuality is full, that your sensuality is there, lang lang, a beautiful sweet floral oil, can help with that aspect of the sacral chakra energy. Geranium. The sacral chakra is a more feminine energy. So geranium is great for balancing the emotions, but also balancing that feminine energy. So another great oil for the sacral chakra. But the one I've chosen is orange. beautiful, bright, cheerful orange to rebalance. Because when we're feeling cheerful, when we're feeling more joyful, it is more easy for us to become creative. It is more easy for us to fall into our sensuality, and it's more easy to birth new things. So as you can see, I have a little saying that goes with it. I'm uplifted, happy, and joyful. Then we'll move on to the solar plexus chakra. So let's see what the card is for solar plexus. We've got Knight of Wands reversed. Now, remember, the solar plexus is about my central sun, my inner power, my own personal power. It's about my personality, my self-identity, who I am, my confidence, my self-esteem. So when this card is upright, I like to call this the Lone Ranger card. Hi ho, silver away, look at me, look at me. So the fact that the card is upside down is saying to me that the energy of the solar plexus is there. It's actually there, but you're not expressing it. You're not standing in your own power. You have the ability to do so, but you're not standing in your own power. You're not standing in your own confidence or self-esteem. So how would we balance that? Crystals for here. The most obvious crystal is sunstone. This is a raw sunstone, bringing in the power of that sun energy. Another crystal I might use for the solar plexus is this one. This is orange aventurine. And this is actually in the shape of a Merkaba, which is one of the sacred geometry shapes. The other one that I would use here is, remember I was talking about the orange citrine for the sacral? This is a yellow, a golden citrine. So I'd be more inclined to use this for my solar plexus chakra. So where would I place it? I would place it on the upper belly, above the navel, but below the lower ribs. The essential oil that I would choose would be lemon. When we're lacking in confidence, when our thoughts are not clear, when our self-esteem is low, when we're not standing in our own power, it can be hard to focus and concentrate. And lemon essential oil can assist with that. And, you know, lemons are zesty. It's a tangy, zesty, sharp fruit. So that brings in a bit of a zest for life again and also helps build our confidence. Other essential oils that are good for the solar plexus is ginger. Ginger, spicy, warm. So it brings warmth. It warms up that central sun. It brings confidence. It also brings courage, because the solar plexus is also about where we are with our courage. Now let's move on to the heart. Beautiful heart chakra, love in all its forms. And here we have the Chariot. So once again here, this is a strong card. It's a major card. It's strong. Its energy is strong, even though I feel it's upside down. I feel the energy is still quite strong. Not as strong as this when we've got him getting ready to charge forth on a straight path. The path might not be so straight, but I feel that the energy for the heart chakra is there. It's just not being expressed. It's almost like you're holding back your emotions, not wanting to express them. So crystals for here. Before, remember I said the heart had a couple of colors, green and pink. So some of the crystals that you can use here, I have green aventurine. And green aventurine is a great all-rounder when it comes to healing, especially physical healing. The other one I have, this is beautiful. This is a really high vibration stone. It's hard to see the color on camera, but this is a beautiful pale pink kunzite, very soft, gentle and nurturing for the heart. The other green stone is jade. And the other stone that is most commonly used with the heart chakra is rose quartz. And here's my little rose quartz heart. So where am I going to place them? I'm going to use the aventurine and the rose quartz, and I'm going to place it over my chest. The oil for this, the most obvious oil, I think you can guess it. Yes, rose. Rose is the oil of the heart. It's the role of the oil of nurturing, self-nurturing, nurturing of others. Beautiful, beautiful oil, highly expensive oil. So usually when I buy this oil, I buy it already diluted. I usually buy it with a 3% of the rose oil in jojoba oil, and that is what I use. It is just as effective. And I must say, when it comes to using oils, less is more. particularly when it comes to energetic or spiritual work. You only have to use a small amount to get the energetic vibrational effect. Other oils for the heart is bergamot. Bergamot is an orangey aroma, but it is great for self-love. Other oils that are good is lavender. Everybody loves lavender. I call lavender the first aid kit in a bottle. Lavender is soothing, it's nourishing. I also think of it as a hug. Whenever I have lavender, I feel like I'm being hugged. So that is another great oil for the heart. And if you're grieving or having sadness, then neroli. Neroli is commonly known as orange blossom. It is a high vibrational oil. It is very, very soothing, and it is very, very comforting. Let's move on to the throat chakra. I hope I'm doing okay for time because I forgot to turn on my timer. So if someone can remind me just when I'm getting close.
You have about 8 minutes left, hon.
Thank you, Squirrel. Appreciate that. Okay, throat chakra. We have the Knight of Swords. I think of this as the tally-ho card. Do you remember the old-fashioned movies about World War II in Britain? And the general would say, "Come on, lads, forge ahead and damn those torpedoes." That's what I see with this card. So with the throat chakra, the energy that I'm getting with this tarot card is that there's almost too much energy here. It's almost like there's just too much being expressed out. I'm a Sagittarian. I'm a talk. Throat chakra is very strong for me. So I'm always calming mine down. But this is saying to me there's lots of energy in the throat chakra, almost too much energy. So this for you is more about listening rather than talking when this card comes up in this position. So let's have a look at some crystals that can balance this chakra. Remember, the colors were pale blue through to dark blue. So this is sodalite. So you can see this sodalite is a mix of dark blue with a bit of white in there. This is great for logic. It's great for expressing things, communicating in a logical, clear way. One of my favorite stones of all time is Larimar. Larimar calms. So this is about calm communication. You can communicate in a very calm way when you have Larimar to balance the throat chakra. But the one I've chosen for our session is blue lace agate. Again, another soft pale blue. I've chosen pale blue rather than dark blue because the energy here is excessive. We want to calm that energy down. So that is why I would use the pale blue. Where would I put it? Lying down, I would lie it on my throat. Essential oils for the throat chakra. I have chosen sweet fennel. This is a beautiful herb. It's a herbaceous oil. And what I like about it is it brings clear communication. And remember, communication is a two-way street. When we talk about communication, it's not just about expressing outward, it's about hearing and listening and bringing inward. So this is a great oil for balancing the throat chakra. Other oils for the throat chakra, basil. Basil is great for clear communication. Also sandalwood. Say you are wanting to communicate on a more spiritual level. If I was doing a reading and I was getting some information being downloaded, for want of a better term to use, then using some sandalwood would be great for that as well. So the oil I have chosen is sweet fennel because I want to make sure my communication is clear and that I'm truly listening, and that will balance that energy down. We're nearly getting to the end. The next one is the third eye chakra. Remember, this is about our intuition, our psychic senses, our own inner wisdom, how we connect to that. And here we have the Two of Swords. And can this be a more obvious card? We have the blindfold covering the eyes and the third eye. We have the swords crossed, stop, no go. And then we have all that water behind. So in regard to the energy for this third eye chakra, this is saying to me that this energy around your psychic abilities, around your intuition, your inner wisdom, it's all there. It's deep, it's still, but your left brain analytical thinking, because swords can represent thought, are saying stop. It's almost like you'll get an intuition about something and then your analytical brain jumps in and says, oh, that can't be right. Oh, that's so illogical. No. And so that's where the dissonance is. The energy is there in that third eye for your clairs, your clairsentience, your clairvoyance, whatever it happens to be. It's just that it's blocked at the moment. So what crystals would I use for that? I talked before about dark blue and purple. So one of my favorites in the dark blue is lapis lazuli. This is a lapis lazuli pyramid that I love using. So where would I place it? I would place it on my forehead, lying down, obviously, because otherwise it just won't stay there, will it? And of course, in terms of the purple color, amethyst. This is a raw amethyst point. And so I've decided I would use the amethyst today. So I would place that on my forehead. What oil have I chosen? I have chosen sage. Sage to connect with my inner wisdom, to connect with my spirituality. Other
3
oils
minutes
that are
left,
good
Leslie.
for the third. Thank you. The other oils that are good for the third eye is lemongrass, because it stimulates your psychic senses, and also cypress. Cypress is really good for promoting your own inner wisdom. Last one, let's look at the card for the crown chakra, our connection to that which is beyond us, to the source, to the divine. And we have the Two of Cups reversed. When this is the right way up, I see a two-way communication. I see an equal communication. So again, this is saying to me that the energy in that connection to the source is low. It's draining out. Those cups are emptying out. So what crystals would I use here? Remember, I spoke about white light, golden light, darker purple. So we have a choice of clear quartz, and I like to use points for the crown. I lay them on the floor on my yoga mat above my head with a point pointing down towards me. I also spoke about the golden light. This is a beautiful carved citrine point, so I can use that. Another great crystal for balancing the energies and in the crown chakra area and making that connection is selenite. So I'm choosing selenite today. Oils, the oil I have chosen is beautiful neroli. It is a high vibrational oil. It is delicate. Just as our chakras have different vibrations, so do oils have different vibrations. And so that's the oil I would use there. Other oils I would use would be things like frankincense. Sage could be used there as well, because remember, oils don't just apply to one particular thing. Sandalwood I would use here as well. So how do we put it all together? I would lay out my chakra cards as I've done, see which of the chakra energies were out of balance. I would then get my essential oils, chosen essential oils, and I would blend them. Just one drop of each in an oil burner is the easiest way to do, or blend them together and place one drop of the blend on a tissue. And I usually just lay it on my chest. I make sure the oil doesn't touch my skin, just in case there are any skin sensitivities, because the oil is not diluted. I would then lay the crystals on each of the areas that I've spoken about. I would close my eyes, and then I'd begin to breathe. Breath is my connection. Breath is my connection between my physical and my spiritual, my emotional and my mental. I would slow the breath down, slow deep breaths, and then I would visualize the crystal at each area of my body where it's laying, and I would visualize the color red for the base chakra, orange for the sacral, yellow for the solar plexus, green and pink intermingling for the heart, my chosen shade of blue for the throat, the other one for the head, and for the top. And I would breathe slowly until I felt calm and centered. I would then slowly open my eyes, sit up slowly because this is quite energetically deep, have a glass of water, and return to my day. I do hope this has been helpful for you today. A little bit about the chakras. Sam, there is so much more depth to it than this, but I wanted to share something that people could take away and immediately start doing for themselves.
Absolutely. And that spread was just amazing and bespoke for us, and it just feels really magical. Laurie's asking if you do any courses on all of this, because there is so much. I think people are keen to learn more. Where can they go and how can they
I was doing courses before COVID, but I am looking at translating my current physical face-to-face course into an online course. I do teach chakra yoga. So I go through all of this, but I also teach yoga poses that you can use to balance the chakras as well. And I'm looking to take that online. Yes, absolutely.
Wow. There's a lot there. I wasn't lying when I said you're a wealth of knowledge, because It's incredible. And people are saying the combination of how we're using the things together and the oils with the crystals and everything else, it's really magical. And that was perfect.
And I have to quickly say, Dusty's manifestation magic, let me tell you, it works. I manifested the sale of one house and the purchase of my dream house using his techniques. So it does work on big scale.
Thank you so much. There's a lot to practice after all this, but I can't believe this festival. It just gets better and better and better and better and better. I don't know how we can beat one to the next, but that was a very welcome addition. Thank you so much, Leslie.